Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to be designing with PowerPoint today. Cami and I are here to help you with that. And Cami, you want to take it away?
Alrighty. So, Dennis, we are going to start with a land acknowledgement. And I would like to acknowledge that where I'm coming to you from is right on the border between Treaty 4 and Treaty 7 in Alberta. And this land is the ancestral and traditional territory of the Siksika, the Kainai, the Piikani, and the Stoney Nakoda, and the Tsuut'ina. Those are the Treaty 7 folks, as well as the Cree, the Sioux, and the Saulteaux bands of the Ojibwa people. And that is some of the groups that are from Treaty 4. And one of the things that I always think about is how it must have been like to totally survive on the land. And we know that seasons were such an important part of life for our Indigenous ancestors and forefathers. And so I took a picture of what it looks like where I am right now. Isn't actually is today the first day of spring, Dennis?
It
It's
is, yeah.
spring's pretty close, but where I am from, it's broad prairie for as far as you can see, and it still looks really, really snowy. And so,
Mm.
can you imagine if you were living in a teepee like the people of the plains, how you would long for spring? And we complain about a late spring, but we've got it pretty easy compared to. So we're so lucky that we have so much to learn from those who've gone before us. So my name is Cami, and I'm coming to you from Medicine Hat, Alberta. And Dennis and I are both extended team members for the Cobblestone Collective. So we are technology coaches that get to work with students and teachers and help them out with technology, things like PowerPoint.
That's right. I'm out here in Winnipeg, just as cold and wintry as out in Alberta where Cami is. So looking forward to working with you today. Yeah, it looks like we have Microsoft to thank for this presentation we got going on today with Windows 11 and how to design PowerPoint presentations using the designer. And here it is. Here's our activities for today. Go ahead, Cami. Talk
So
us through it.
we're going to look at all sorts of design principles, things that you want to do or not do. Sometimes with PowerPoint is the easier way to do it. And at the end, we are going to introduce you to something you might not have used before in PowerPoint that will just help you get so comfortable when it actually comes time to present. We're going to use some artificial intelligence to help us rehearse with a PowerPoint tool called Speaker Coach or Rehearsal Coach. All right.
Fun. All right, so we got a problem here, Cam. We can't see anybody. They can see us and they can hear us, but we can't see them and hear them. So we have a plan, and the plan is if you go to your computer, or if you're on your computer, obviously you are, go open up a new tab and put in this website right here, thecc.page/answer1. And you can go into the form there and you can start putting in your name, maybe where you're from, and just let us know that you're here. So if you could do that, that'd be great. There's a few of us online right now, so let's try that out. Tell us where you're from, what school you're from, what grade you're in. That'd be great, just to let us know that you're in the form, or that you're putting in answers in the form.
Right. And maybe your teacher is going to be the one that answers in the form
Right.
today. So we love it when teachers answer too and tell us what class they're representing. It
Yeah.
looks like we have a class from LHMS, Dennis. That could be lots of places. We'd love to
Yeah.
know
Yeah. Let us know.
where LMHS is, if that's your school. Where is that? What does it stand for? And where is your school?
Yeah, in education, we like using acronyms. So it's usually some sort of school division or school or a set of schools. We like doing that. So it's nice if you can get spread the love a little bit. Let us know where you're from. That'd be great. Oh,
All
our lights
right,
are
we
right
have
there.
Amrit is in grade 5 from Ontario. Well, Ontario's big, but from Ontario. So hi, Amrit.
And we got Greg coming in, also from Ontario. My favorite name, Aristotle. Welcome, Aristotle. Looks like he's from Ontario as well. Thanks for joining us today. That's great.
Okay, well, I hope it's warmer in Ontario these days
Oh,
than
yeah.
out in the prairies. Hey, Dennis.
Oh,
All
yes.
right, so it looks like our form is working. Let's go on and get right to it. So Dennis,
Mhm.
I have for you and our friends a really eye hurting PowerPoint that we're going to start off with.
I hope you didn't make it.
Okay.
Did you make
Well,
it?
I didn't make it, but this is one that was partially made by some students before we did some interventions. All
Okay.
right. So
Okay.
our friends from grade 6 in
Oh, yes, we're
Bridgeport,
good.
we've got Nate,
Yeah.
Tyrone, Izzy, Susan, Parker. We're gonna ask that you help us out
Yeah.
once I show you this PowerPoint. And what I'd like you to do in the form is we would like you to tell us what is wrong with this PowerPoint. Now,
Mm.
there are lots of answers, and my feelings won't be hurt. We want to see what a really bad PowerPoint looks like, and then we're going to talk about all sorts of ways that we can fix it. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
just about ready here. I'm going to get it all
All right.
ready to
Well,
go.
while you're doing that, looks like the LHMS was Lawrence Heights Middle School, and they're in Toronto. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. That's so fun.
Okay,
Bridgeport Public School, Griffin, Soham, Dylan, Harrison, Tyrone, Mavis, Izzy. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
okay, here we go.
Okay. All right. Oh, here. Oh, ouch.
Just wait, there's more. Okay, so I'm going to
Oh boy.
start playing from the beginning. Here we go. So, friends, as you watch this short little PowerPoint, what are some of the problems?
And it doesn't want to play for you, it looks like,
No.
for some reason.
Well, that's interesting.
I saw a very bright green. Was there a great bright yellow? I don't know what happened to it.
Okay, well, see if we can
Little
get back
technical
here.
difficulties on our side.
Yeah.
Please answer in the forum if you are joining us. Cammy's going to get this straightened out very shortly. What school are you from? Looks like we have a lots of people coming. Grade 6 Bridgeport Public School. Do we know where? I think that is in. Looks like Harrington, Ontario. Oh, Mr. Harrington from Ontario, Bridgeport. Got it. Grade 6. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Harrington and group. Looks like we got quite a few. Parker, Elizabeth, thanks for joining us. Cammy's working on getting that PowerPoint going. And she has a very, let's say, challenging PowerPoint that we need to fix, and we need some help. So hopefully she can get that going for us very shortly.
Okay.
Shane, thanks for joining us, Shane. How are we doing there, Cammy?
Well, that's just really interesting all of a sudden, Dennis. Okay. I'm trying to well, I guess we're just going to not do that.
We're going to try something different. Let's go.
We're going to save your eyeballs by not showing you the really hard on the eyes PowerPoint. Okay, so instead, we are just going to dive right into our first activity. And Dennis, do you want to go maybe to slide 12?
Sure. Let me give me slide 12 on the one.
Actually, we can go right here. So, friends, we're going to look at 5 kind of. We're going to go back one. Oh, sorry. Go. This is the one I want right there. So we're going to take a look at 5 things that we often want to take a look at with PowerPoint. Do we have colors that work? Do we have images that work? What about our font? And what about transitions and animations? Should we have them? Should we have a lot? Should we have a few? We're going to look at some of those things as we cover today in our lesson. And we are going to start off with a really cool tool from PowerPoint. And so we are going to use the PowerPoint Designer. Now, Dennis, I'm a little worried about the rest of my slides here. Okay, just a second.
Well, as she's working, oh, we have Zlata showing up. Thank you. It looks like Bridgeport, Ontario is the place to be today from Mr. Harrington's class. So thanks so much for joining us. I think we could safely say that we can get PowerPoint up and running. Is that correct, Candy?
Yes, let's do that, Dennis. I don't seem to be able to get PowerPoint up and running at all of a sudden.
Okay. You want me to see if I can get it going?
Let's well, Dennis, you know what? Okay, so Dennis, since we were practicing 5 minutes ago, my computer will not load any PowerPoint. So guess what?
Okay.
You are going to go to a new PowerPoint. So
let's see
friends,
if I can get it going here.
I'm going to help you out, Dennis. So friends, you might have a Chromebook that you're working on, or you might be working on a laptop with Windows 11. It doesn't matter which way you're doing it. So if you have a Windows 11 machine, you can go and you can open PowerPoint up the desktop version. Dennis, for you today, what I'm going to have you do is open a new tab, and I'm going to have you type portal. Oh, there you're in PowerPoint right there. Okay.
Yes.
So if you just
how's that look? I'll make it a little bit better so it looks.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
That will be fine. Still doing? How's that looking on the screen, everybody? Oh, I'm looking for it. It's on a different screen. I have multiple screens open. I think I found it. How did I do? Did I get it?
Good. You got it. All right. So we've got a PowerPoint open, Dennis. That's excellent. I'm just going to double check mine. Something is not right in my PowerPoint world. Okay. So Dennis, what we're going to do is we are going to use this tool called PowerPoint Designer.
Oh, and so I
actually want you to just click that X for right now. Like click that little X on the sidebar and the gray, go down there, click that off just so we can kind of start from scratch and see what this looks like. So if you look in the top left-hand corner, friends, you'll see we're on the home tab. So in PowerPoint, there's home, insert, draw, design, transitions, all those tabs. We're just going to start from home. And so we're going to think, Dennis, of a subject where we maybe do some presentations. I don't know. Let's pick science. So what I'd like you to do is type, actually, we're going to type something more specific, a subject in science. Why don't you type, let's do mountains.
Mountains? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now you've got mountains. And so friends, just watch what happens. And then we're going to give you a little chance to do this. So Dennis, up on, and now you're on the desktop version, it looks like?
I believe this is the desktop. Yep.
Okay. So you're going to click designer.
Okay. Ooh. Wow.
Well,
look at all the cool things.
Isn't quite wow yet. Okay.
We don't have mountains though, because I was hoping for mountain to show up. Maybe we got to be a little bit. Did I spell mountains correctly? Oh, you know what?
Oh, let's try an M in mountains and see if when we spell it correctly, it works better.
Am I spelling it right?
A-I-N-S.
I just forgot an N. That's all.
Well, but
I bet you everybody online saw that and is yelling at the screen saying, "You got to spell it right."
So, but look
that looks way better.
Actually, thanks for doing that, because did you notice before when we had mountains, it just gave us really generic designs, and it had like these, fancy screens but no pictures. But now that it actually knows that we're looking for mountains, it gives us some design. So Dennis, what I want you to do is let's go to the very top and let's click on what we're getting. We're going to just click through and change. So when Dennis clicks on that first one, this one has animation in the back. Can you see it? It actually, the mountains are turning. Can you click on the second one? Let's take a look at what else we have here.
Okay.
So there's some more mountains. Click on another one. Okay. So those ones are giving us pictures in the back. And now you can see that it's just going and giving us some fairly plain looking templates without a lot that has to do with mountains. So don't click on that yet, Dennis. Let's go back to the top. I like that second one. Okay. So we've got a title screen, mountains, and down at the bottom, let's put where it says click to add subtitle, let's put by Dennis.
All right.
Okay, so now do you notice when you type into this box, it already has a font, it has a font size, and it's chosen something that it thinks looks Really, really nice. Oh, it's given,
Hmm.
actually click on that top one now, Dennis.
Yeah, it's giving us
Did you
different
see?
ideas now. Yeah.
When we put by Dennis, it thought, oh, hey, this is a title page. And so
Yeah.
it's giving us ones that maybe look a little bit more like a title page. So you can see it gives us more options. Okay.
Hmm. Very neat.
So
Okay.
Dennis, let's go with that one. Sure. Now, what I'd like you to do is go to the right-hand side,
Okay.
and can you click new slide?
Oh, right
Oh,
hand
sorry,
slide.
the
Oh,
left-hand
yeah.
side,
Okay.
the
Over
other.
here.
And we're gonna add a new slide. Let's add one where we can add a title and some bullet points.
All right.
So maybe the second one in the first row. There we go. Title and content, one up. There we go. Click that.
There it
Okay.
is.
So now, do you see what happens? It's got the same. If you just go up to the title cover page, look how it picks the same font that we had before. So let's type in here mountain ranges. All right. So Dennis, do you know the name of any mountain ranges?
I know the Rocky Mountains,
Okay, so let's type in Rocky Mountains.
but I don't know if it's. I think it's more like. Is it like this? Can't remember if it's IE. You might be able to tell us in the form
It's
which
going to be
one.
a Y, I believe.
Is it? Okay. Rocky Mountains. What's another one?
Rocky Mountains. Well, friends in the forum, do you know of any other mountain ranges? Dennis, I'm thinking of one that is in Switzerland and France and Italy.
Oh, the Alps.
The Alps. Okay.
Alps.
PS,
Okay.
there we go. Yeah. Now, do you notice how this slide has already given Dennis bullet points? Friends, any thoughts on other mountain ranges? And do you notice as Dennis is typing how our design is changing? Did you click on that one, or did it just do it automatically?
I'm clicking on the new ones. Every time I add a new bullet point, it gives us different ideas that we could possibly use for
Okay.
bullet points or different slide
Okay.
ideas.
So
That's pretty neat.
let's just type for now, Dennis.
Okay.
Okay. So the Himalayas. Ayush has added the Himalayas. That's another one.
Oh boy.
Now, Himalayas. There we go. Yeah. Now I'm
Himalayas,
also
there you go,
thinking of one that's in South America.
South America, the Andes, I believe.
Yes. So let's add that in there as well. Okay. So now we have a bunch of mountain ranges as well. And so we have a cover page, and then we have some title pages. So if you want to go over to the designer and take a look, we can see that we have all sorts of, so let's go right to the top and kind of flip through or click through some of the different designs that it's given us. Okay, so we can see that has really small font. So all sorts of ones. So we want to pick something that looks kind of similar to the ones that we already have. Now,
so if we did something like that, would it?
Okay, so I see what you're doing. You've changed the title slide to match.
Try to match what I have down. Like it's this that with that little arc on there. Yeah.
Okay. So even though design can do some designing for us, we also want to make sure that we are adding slides to our PowerPoint that look similar. Okay, Dennis. Let's add another slide.
All right. New slide coming up. What would you like?
Let's just do title and content again to start.
All right.
Okay. Now this time, let's see if we can go over to your designer tab, and I want you to go right to the very bottom. Actually, first, before you do that, let's click up onto that mountain types, the slide above, or the tile above, the slide above, where we had the mountain ranges. Okay, and then let's go to the very bottom. I want you to go all the way to the bottom of that designer tab. So go right to the bottom. So can you click up to the previous slide? Well, I want you to be on the second slide. So we have those mountain types. There you go. Is it going to let us stay there? Go up. Can you go up to the one above it? There we go. Click on that one and now go to the bottom of the design.
Oh, I see what you. Okay,
sorry.
gotcha.
There we go. Now at the bottom, will you click on see more design ideas?
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so keep going all the way to the bottom. Oh goodness, try it again. See more design ideas. Okay, it is not loading what I am expecting it to load. I was hoping it was going to load our Bing search and filter. Okay.
Oh, I see.
So Dennis, let's go back to that third slide. It's orange.
Yikes.
Now, I don't know if that's going to match. So
sure doesn't.
I'm not sure why it's giving us orange. Let's see if we can change that.
Well, how about I delete that one? Okay, I'll get rid of that. Can we delete? Delete slide. There we go. And we'll try it again. We'll go new slide, title and content. Yeah, it wants to go to this designer over here. But I think if we put the mountains back up, maybe if we do mountain ranges again. Oops.
Oh, we've got mountain ranges again, Dennis.
No. Oh, my goodness.
And
there we go. It seems like it wants to go back to this. Oh, there we go.
Now it does. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, well, let's see if we can get it to, we're going to add some pictures of some of those mountain ranges. So did it give us?
I'll just duplicate the slide there.
Okay.
So not too sure why it's not. And then I'll just choose something here. Perhaps I can change the type of format on here. Perhaps format background. Sorry, I'm not familiar with that. So
okay, so that's good. Well, we've got, at least we have some blue now. So we've got some blue that matches. So what do you know about mountains, Dennis?
Well, they are very rocky, lots of rock, no trees typically, most of the time.
So why don't you type just a paragraph of information about mountains? In fact, yeah, just go ahead and type.
No trees, typically. Oops.
So I just want you to type a paragraph.
Very high.
What makes them white?
There's no trees. I have put lots of snow. Perhaps because they're so high. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
The weather is cold. Sorry, I'm getting very basic here. The water.
Okay, now, friends, even though we're using the slide designer here, I'm going to suggest that Dennis's slide is a little hard to read. Can you help us out in the form? What's a problem that we're having? You can leave it at that one, Dennis.
Okay.
We want to talk about what the problem is here first. What's the problem with this slide that Dennis has up? That blue dot.
We're getting lots of information coming in.
Mm-hmm.
5 main types of mountains. But what's the issue with, how could we make that font a little bit better? I have some ideas, but I'm waiting for the form. Too white. Okay.
Well, and actually, while we're waiting, Dennis, do you know what I'd like you to do is to take Parker's answer, if you can, from the form. Can you copy that? And we're going to use that to make our next slide.
I'm going to try that. Give me a second.
All right. So Parker says, so just undo. I want to just save that in your save the text for the next one. We're going to talk about this one first. Okay. Parker and Griffin, absolutely. This text is too small and the white is blending in with the background. So that is so Bang on. Friends, that's exactly what we need to do. So we have a light blue background, and then we have that really white font, and it's a really, really tiny font. And so we could do a couple things. We could use our slide designer to find something that worked better. But Dennis, let's even just fix it by going up, and let's pick a different font that's not so skinny there.
How about that one?
Sure. Oh, look at that's better already. So now, do you notice, friends, just how by changing the style of the font, we can see it better? And it's kind of gone from almost impossible to read to something that's quite readable. I actually like the one that you had before.
The other one was a little bit easier to read, wasn't it? I think it was that one.
We call the one before a sans serif font because it doesn't have little feet on the letters. Sometimes those are easier to read on presentations. Now, one thing that Dennis did when he was typing here is he typed in kind of like paragraphs. And so typically what we want to do when we're doing slides is we don't want to have paragraphs. We want to have point form. And Dennis, I think I would leave it bigger like you had it.
Okay.
A general rule when we're making presentations for an audience is that our font should be probably 20-point font or larger. We're so used to seeing typing at 12-point or 14-point in a Word document, but when we're doing a presentation, think about the people in the back row of your classroom. We want that to be, way too small, Dennis. Yes, we want it to be at least a 20-point font. Okay, now let's do one more slide. So add a new slide.
Okay, so we're gonna try this again. We're gonna add new slide. We'll do the content one again.
Okay.
And it really wants to bring in that orange for some reason. I'm not too sure
why. That's okay. Can you just paste now in the second part, the second box, can you paste the 5 main types of mountains? Good. Now, can you, let's make the first part there into the title. So where the title is, can you copy, or that'll be fine. That'll be fine too. All right, so now we have a title. And so you can delete that part from what you copied and pasted.
You don't want that there?
No, I just don't put that back. I just want the part in front of the colon deleted.
Oh, like that.
Right? Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and when we make presentations, lists are always so much easier to use. So Dennis, can you put your cursor in front of each of those points and hit enter to make a list there?
I don't know if we need a comma after every word, but we can get rid of that later.
That's right. So we'll start by making a list, and we can even probably get rid of and dome.
Fault block and dome. I guess it's fault block, and then we can go dome as a...
Yeah. And so then I think I like your idea of getting rid of the commas as well. Okay. And the period. All right. Now let's turn on our designer again.
All right.
And see what happens there.
That's pretty neat. I guess we could go do a search for a volcano. This one's kind of neat, although the pictures look a little weird, but...
Okay, so this is an interesting part. You can see here, even though this isn't exactly what we want, we can see how the design has taken our words and tried to put icons in that work for them. All right, Dennis, can you go on the designer? Can you slide down 3, that one right there with the orange bars? All right, so there again, we can see that it takes kind of our boring list where we just made bullet points, and it's added some color and it's added icons. Now we would want to go in and we would want to find some icons that fit better. And so, Dennis, tell us what you're doing there to.
I was just looking to see if I could find other icons. So it does give you a list of different types of icons you can use. So I can't remember which one I clicked on. I was on fold.
Okay.
So the fold, it looks like a potted plant, but maybe we could find, and what I did is I clicked on the little table beside it, replace your icon, and it looks for all icons. Perhaps if I type in fold, it might give me more ideas. Let's see. Oh, gives me some sort of origami bird. Different plateau. It looks like a hippopotamus on there. But
okay, so we know that these aren't the best images, but we could. All right. Yep. So Dennis, let's do one more thing. Let's go actually up to either slide 2 or a new slide. And Mr. Bain's class is asking a good question that we kind of started going to, and then we kind of got sidetracked. If we want to add our own images, Mr. Bain's class is wondering what's the best way to do that. So we're going to do, let's say we want a picture of the Alps. So Dennis, under home, actually, we're going to go to the tab beside home where it says insert. And then we're going to click on where it says one over where it says pictures. And we're going to go online pictures, the bottom one, and it will help. It'll search from Bing, probably because we're in PowerPoint. And so do you want to type in there the Alps? All right. Now, friends, we have now got a whole bunch of pictures of the Alps. Dennis, have you ever seen the movie The Sound of Music?
I have.
Okay, so that's the Alps. So if you want to pick an image that looks kind of reminds you of that movie, you go ahead and pick one. Now, friends, when we search for images, this is the great thing about PowerPoint, is you can see here, Dennis has this little button that's called Creative Commons only. That's a super important button because that tells us that all of these images are okay to use. We have permission to use these, and they're going to be safe images. So teachers, Mr. Bain, this is probably maybe the answer that you're looking for. When we search inside PowerPoint and we use Creative Commons, we check that on there, we can find images that are safe, and then you can go ahead and hit approve. A couple other things really, there's a couple other really neat things that happen here as well. One is that we get alt text, which helps if someone's using a screen reader. It comes right away with it. And it will also tell us where that image is coming from. Okay, so friends, we're going to leave Dennis to do some formatting here. And we realize that we haven't given you any instructions to design on your own. We think that you probably have been. But Dennis, why don't we put up, just pop over to that slide where we're going to give our friends a task.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yes. Let's flip back over to I believe it's under, was it this one? I believe it was this one, right?
All right. So we hope that you've been designing along with us. You can tell us what you are designing. Did you choose something that was from science like we did, or did you choose something else? You can let us know what you are designing.
Yeah, I like the fact that you can get the Creative Commons pictures from there, from the online pictures. That's very important.
All right, you know what, Dennis? I think that my computer is cooperating again.
Oh, well, that's good.
So I'm going to pop in my PowerPoint, and now I'm going to show what it will look like if you are on Office 365. So Dennis was on the desktop version. So we can see here, I've got some information on mountains already. And I'm going to click on the design tab and click on designer. There we go. So in 365, it kind of just does one at a time. All right, so you can see how on this one it's using the same font, so that's why it's so smart. Now, Dennis, we also want to be careful here because if I choose this slide now, can you see how it doesn't fit?
Yeah, I've noticed
So
that.
we want to make sure that when we're using Slide Designer, that we're using something that fits with the rest of our slides. So that one's better. So I can go back to
So
the
you'll
5
have to
mountains around the world.
click on the side and go back to designer and click that design for that particular. Oh, I see. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's exactly
Now
what you
I might want to make these a little bit bigger. We talked about doing that because they look pretty small there. There we go. Now this one has a lot of text on it. And it's got some volcanic mountains. Parker talked about volcanic mountains.
Oh yeah, you got lots of
So
good stuff there.
I want one that kind of matches. Let's see here. This one's got some red in the background, but you can see it still uses the same font. There we go. I'm going to make that a little bigger. All right, we can move that around. And beforehand, I found a picture. I inserted a picture of the Pacific Ring of Fire where there's lots of volcanoes. So I had done that before. And then you can see that it also formats that picture. It makes it curvy, but I think I might want to choose this one because, well, you know what, Dennis? I don't like how it's in the background there. It's too hard to read. So we're going to come back
That
to
one's
this
pretty
one.
good.
Yeah.
That one's pretty good.
But you know what? Now my font is different. So I want to make sure that I'm using the same kind of font. So we might want to come in here and make sure that we're picking the same kind of font. Oh, it's not telling me what that fancy font is. Let's see here.
Huh.
All right. Well, I would try to find the same font. Normally, when I hover over it on another slide, it tells me, but it just wants to go back to Calibri.
Just looking for a format painter, but I don't know if they have that on here. I can't see it.
Oh, there we go. All right. So, friends, what have you been designing?
Yeah, put it in the forum how you've been doing. You can let us know what type of theme you got going, whether it's, or it could be science, could be maybe you're doing a spring theme, perhaps, or a different science topic.
Okay. And so if we wanted to, let's go back to my mountain ranges of the world. On Office 365, we can find some pictures at the bottom. So when we were on Dennis's desktop, we went to insert picture. We could do that too. On 365, we get some pictures down here. So if I click on Himalayas, again,
That's what you're looking for. Yeah.
Creative Commons. Yeah, I thought that might show up before. Oh, let's try that again. We want Himalayas. Oh, still something not quite right inside my computer there, Dennis. Is there? Okay. Well, Dennis, we are going to get into the last. Oh, you know what? We're going to do one more thing. We are going to look at how to use animations before we use design the presenter coach. So if we wanted in our presentation, we might add a little bit of animation. Now in my really ugly PowerPoint that I didn't get to show you, it had all sorts of crazy animations. So friends, one of the things we want to do is we want to keep our animations similar. We don't want to use, even though we have a lot of animations, in PowerPoint, we don't want to use them all. So I've highlighted my title and I'm going to click on animation. Now it gives me 3 to choose from: appear, fade in, or fly in. But look, there's all of these. But here's the thing. We don't want to use those all. So I'm going to pick a nice simple one. And we're going to do the fade in. Okay. And I'm going to do fade in over here. So I'm going to do the same thing for all of my animations, or so all of my titles. So every one of them, it'll be the same. So we call that consistency. So we want some consistency. So we've got some animations. Now, Dennis, do you know the difference between animations and transitions?
I think I do. I think the animation is when it's on the slide, you can make things fade in like you did with the title slide. And if I remember correctly, transitions is between, like the transition from one slide to the next slide. So you can do, if I remember correctly, you can do different types of neat animations there as well.
Yes, and just like with slides, there are lots of different animations. So look at all of those animations, and some of them are really, really crazy. So probably, friends, we don't want to use one that's too crazy. So look at this one. This one's fracture. Here, I'm going to add a whole bunch and see what not to do. Here we go. We'll add, oh, that's a pretty fancy one. All right. So we're going to put crazy transitions.
I find that students a lot of times they like, because once they find out about it, they're excited about
Yes.
it. They want to add every single animation they possibly can on one slide, and you never know when to stop clicking because there's just so many animations.
That's right. So we want to show you how to use animations and transitions, friends, but we want to say pick one kind and stick with it. So let's see what this looks. This is what not to do for transitions.
Okay, let's see.
So let's see here. So my mountains comes in. Now when I click, well, that wasn't bad. It was nice. There, my
pretty nice.
Fade in is nice. Okay, well, that one's pretty distracting. Got a nice fade in of my title. Oh my goodness, that was the crumple.
I like that one.
Okay.
It's a little distracting. Everybody's going to go, wow, is that ever cool? Whoa. Wow.
Oh, that picked up the color of the next slide as well. So those are like some wows. But friends, your presentation shouldn't be about your transitions. So even though my PowerPoint had lots of transitions, I should change those all to the same kind. So I'm going to use wipe so I'm consistent. So even though it's fun to look at those transitions, and you can go ahead and play with them, but you should find one that is, I would say, kind of gentle, and certainly don't use a different transition for each slide. It looks much more professional. Let's see how this looks now. Oh, we're at the end. Okay, here, let's get back to the beginning. Okay. So do you see it's just got a nice, call that a wipe.
That's called, you're doing a wipe. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just, it's really gentle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Now, Dennis, the last thing that we're going to do is we are going to use a tool called Presenter Coach. Now, this is probably the best part about PowerPoint, because if you have to get up in front of your class and you're nervous, Presenter Coach can help you practice and practice and practice. So I'm going to show Presenter Coach with my slide deck so far. And then we're going to give our friends a little bit of time to practice. Okay,
Okay.
so here we go.
This looks like fun. Looking forward to it.
So in Office 365, one way to get there is we could go to slideshow and I could click on rehearse with coach. So you see right over here with rehearse with coach,
Okay.
I could click on body language. The other place that I can find it is I can also click under present. So like I'm going to put it in full screen and I can also click rehearse with coach there. Okay. So now look in the bottom right-hand corner. It says welcome to presenter coach. And it says start rehearsing. And then it also has a little box that says show real-time feedback. I want to click that on because there's going to be a little chat bot right in this bottom right-hand corner that talks to me and tells me how I'm doing as I'm practicing. So Dennis, we really want to pay attention to this bottom corner to see the kinds of things that this rehearsal coach will help with. Okay, so I'm all ready. I've got the camera turned on, so it's going to also look for my body language as well, and it's going to start to watch me. Okay, start rehearsing. Ready?
Okay.
So that shows a picture of me. You can see I'm in the book room where it's nice and quiet. So it doesn't show my background. It's telling me that I'm speaking a little too quickly. Oh, I'm not supposed to use the word so it calls that a filler. So friends, today we are going to talk about mountains. And there's really a lot of things about mountains. Mountains are very nice. They're tall. There's a lot of different kinds of mountains in the world. We've got the Rocky Mountains, the Alps, the Himalayas, the Appalachians, the Andes, and there's a lot of other kinds of mountains that exist out there. And usually when I talk really fast like this, my computer would tell me with the rehearsal coach down here that I'm talking too fast. And I think I have to talk faster because it's still not picking that up. Oh my goodness. Usually by now it says, slow down. You're talking too fast. Wow.
Boy, now, you must have had a lot of coffee to get going that fast.
Liked my pace. I'm going to see if, see, now I'm going too slow.
Slowly.
And you can see that. Okay, so now if I turn my head and I go off the screen, normally it'll say, hey, get back here. Wow, it's not doing that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to turn my head to the side. And it's not watching. Okay, so we're going to keep discussing. And it's telling me that I'm improving, maybe because I'm standing still. I'm going to rock back and forth because it usually doesn't like that. I'm going to read off the slides. And this time I'm going to make some mistakes. The first word is volcanic. Volcanic, fold, plateau, fault block, dome. Those are 5 kinds of mountains that Parker shared with us. Of all of those words, it thought that I might have mispronounced types.
Wow.
Okay, now I'm going to read this directly off the slide, and usually what will happen is it will tell me not to read directly. We'll see. It's not very responsive today. Movements of tectonic plates create volcanoes along the plate boundaries, which erupt and form mountains. A volcanic arc system is a series of volcanoes that form near a subduction zone.
Now it's giving me something.
Of sinking oceanic plates melts and drags water down with the subducting crust. Okay, finally, it did what it's supposed to do. So did you see as I was reading that word for word? Friends, when we make slides, we should tell our audience the main points. We should never read from our slide, and the coach will tell us that. Now, it told me I had great distance. It doesn't like when I get too close to the screen. Oh, see, it's telling me to go farther away.
Oh, there we go.
And maybe now it's telling me to come closer. All right.
Oh,
so it's done a few different things there.
That's the spot. Okay, I see what it's saying now.
So really, I could say presenter coach is awesome, and design coach is awesome, and mountains are really awesome. And if you've never been to the mountains, they're awesome. And so you should really go check out some awesome mountains. Okay. Whew.
That's a lot of awesomes.
Yes. We'll see. It doesn't like when we repeat, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so I just pressed end show. Now, look at this report card that it gives me. So it tells me how long I spent and how many slides that I did. And it also tells me some of those filler words. So I'm just trying, there we go. So it said I used too many ums. Okay, now, here's repetitive language. It had awesome and really. And so it said, you've used those words too many times. You should try to avoid them.
Okay. And I noticed that your speed went pretty high. When you were speaking very fast, it got out of the zone there. You were going like 200 words a minute. Wow. And that graph.
Yes. Okay. So here's the zone of my pace. So you can see where I got really fast and then really slow. And it said my speaking rate was really good, except at 5 through 7 seconds and 20 through. So this is when I was trying to talk really fast and have it tell me. And it actually usually would pop up on the bottom of the screen, Dennis, and tell me that I was going too fast. But it did tell me here exactly. So I could go back and see what slide was I on where I was really nervous and talked too quickly. Now, I did say a lot of words wrong on that one slide, but it picked up types as the word that I said wrong. So this is a nice piece because I can click on you probably didn't hear that, but it said the word types for me. So I can then use my microphone and practice.
I see.
Types. So it told me I got it right. So that's good. So there again, it's using artificial intelligence to practice that. Now, down here, it told me I was doing a great job of inclusive language. So that meant that I didn't say things like, hey, guys, or, talk about, okay, gals. Like I didn't use just words that were just girl words or just boy words. I didn't use any impolite words. If I would have, it would have told me that over there. Now, let's look at body language. Okay. So it said that I kept my gaze forward, and usually as soon as you turn your head to the side, it picks that up because I did that quite a bit. If you put your hand over your face, and that's one thing I forgot to do, it will tell you to keep your face clear, but it did get the distance, right? It told me when look at that. It even takes a picture.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So this is too close, obviously. And then this was too far, but it didn't show me, or it showed that as good. It didn't show when I was too far away. Then it also, the last part here is originality. So it showed where, and look at how it has a slide, a picture of the slide. Slide 4 was when I read the slide. And it says, you got to work on this one. You shouldn't just read off of this slide. And so that is a lot of great information. So teachers, what I like to do, and students, your teachers might have you do this, is to take a screenshot of your work. So I'm going to just use my computer here to take a screenshot.
And how do you take a screenshot with your computer, Cami? What's the easiest way for students to do that?
Well, it can depend a lot on the computer that you're on. When I'm on my Windows 11 machine, I like to use the snipping tool. And so I actually have the snipping tool pinned on the tray of the bottom of my screen.
That's a really nice.
That's what I like to do on my Windows 11 machine. So I just took a picture, and then what I would do is I would usually have my students put that on the last slide. So I can press rehearse again.
Did you put those 3 stars in there?
I did, and I just typed in there. It wasn't as responsive as usual to speed. So I'm going to send that feedback because that helps make Presenter Coach better. I've used Presenter
Oh,
Coach a lot, and so I kind of know what it should be
okay.
like. So I'm going to click off of there, and then I'm going to add a new slide at the bottom, and I'm just going to Control V to paste that on there. I see that text box is through there. I don't want to see that. And so then my teacher can see, okay, I practiced and this was my first practice. And if I practice again, then I would put that on the bottom of
That's a
my
great
slide.
idea. I like that idea.
So rehearsal report or the rehearsal. So again, to get there, you can go from the present button, rehearse with coach, or also from the slideshow tab. There's a button, rehearse with coach. And I did have body language clicked on, and it picked up when I was too close, but it didn't pick up when I moved my face. So usually it tracks your eyes. And as soon as your eyes, like if I turn my face and it doesn't see both my eyes, then it would pick that up. But for today, I guess that goes along with the whole fact that I couldn't use PowerPoint at all for the beginning of our presentation. So
well, we got it working. That's good. We got it great. We got to go.
Not all connected there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well,
so friends, if you had a chance to use Rehearsal Coach, we'd love to hear how that went. Oh, Sarah said, I made it tell me I was going too fast. Good. Let's see. Smith must have been doing one about wetlands for science, because he said it told me that I pronounced bog wrong. Well, that's an interesting one. So it's interesting what it chooses to pick up and what it recognizes. I did notice that here we go. On my pronunciation, it's in beta, the pronunciation. So if any of the tools say beta beside them, that means that they're still working on it and they're still using artificial intelligence to make those better and better. So some of those tools are still in beta, although the speed one should have worked. Okay, Dennis, I think
that was very enlightening for me. That's good. Hopefully everybody out in YouTube there was able to get some rehearsal done on their slides. And thanks so much, Cami, for helping us out with that.
Okay.
That's great.
And friends, we apologize for some of our computer difficulties when the internet isn't cooperating. It happens to all of us. So we apologize that we had a little wait at the beginning while we tried to figure that out. Thanks for being patient with us. And we hope that you enjoyed playing around with Slide Designer and Presenter Coach. Okay. Bye, everybody.
See you, everybody. Hopefully we see you again soon. Bye-bye.